Hello, it's me, Jennifer McCrae, the J Shrink, and I'm here to talk to you about what you lay people been calling Stockholm Syndrome. Y'all been using it in all kinds of the wrong way. Y'all heard it from I think from Joycelyn's daddy. He said Stockholm Syndrome back when I did my first interview on R. Kelly about 1 or 2 years, about 2, 3 years ago. So ever since then, people who have no knowledge of psychology, sociology, social work, psychiatry, no knowledge, have just been using the term Stockholm Syndrome. They'll just throw it in there. Like one lady, I sent her one of my videos. She does a lot of them. I don't know how she does them. But I asked her to give me credit, but she didn't. She knows who she is. She was using it very inappropriately. She even called them Stockholm fans. There's no such thing in psychology as a Stockholm fan. So people and all out of their lanes. I mean, these people are out of their lane. Some of them not even educated. Just in general. Somehow experts on Stockholm Syndrome and the R. Kelly situation. Okay? So I'm going to give you a little analysis. I'm going to tell you my credentials. I have a master's degree. I'm a psychological professional at the master's level. I've been working in the field and working with trauma victims also, in addition to others, for up to 20 years, for almost 20 years. So I know what Stockholm Syndrome is, and I've worked with the victims and helped them get rid of the trauma bonding that occurs. And that's where these ignorant people who say things like, and some of my YouTubers that I like say ignorant things. And they're mostly men. Black men, please learn psychology. I'll teach you. Okay, because it looks sad. The women understand it, and the black men just like the women are whores. Oh, she just threw herself in him. Oh, she over 18. She been with him 3 years. They been with him 3 years. Oh yeah, they know what they want. They want the money. They want the attention. That's what they want. They don't deserve to be recognized like somebody 15, because these girls are grown. These grown ass women. They ain't no little girls. They ain't no teenagers. They grown ass women. That's the ignorance of the black male. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be like Cynthia G. That's the ignorance of the black male. I've heard it a dozen times, and it sickens me. I mean, I've seen Stockholm Syndrome. You won't believe it in a 3-year-old. So you don't have to be a certain age to have Stockholm Syndrome. Okay, so please. And there's another lady. Yeah, I told you about the lady that was using it inappropriately. She makes videos. I don't know how she sleeps. She makes about 10 videos a day. So, she probably steals some of this too, because she's going to probably Patreon it so that I won't be able to see it. Okay, so this is R. Kelly in the middle. You saw during the Gayle King interview. That's Joycelyn. That was the one that was nodding and and everything. And we'll talk about the body language. And that's Azriel, the younger one. Okay, so it's really a form of mind control, Stockholm Syndrome, in which hostages express empathy and have positive feelings toward their captors, sometimes to the point of defending them. Okay? Okay. Before we talk about what is Stockholm Syndrome, it actually comes from a bank robbery that had happened in a town called Stockholm in Sweden in 1973. There were 2 bank robbers. There were 4 bank employees. So they took them hostage. They what did they do? They they did a lot. They tied them up, and some of them they put bags over their heads, and the rest they tied explosives to them. So some of them had explosives tied to them. Okay. Okay. So let me get this in for you. Okay, the Stockholm Syndrome is a condition of abuse used in people in captivity, hostages, concentration camp prisoners of war, or any abusive situation. It is also seen in cult victims. And I wanted to also add, I also think that's a little mini cult going on. And I told y'all that in my very first video that I did. I did not do that video. I did that video like 2 years ago when I talked about the sexual deviance that he used to mold the girls. So it is like a cult. And the funny thing, I talk about that later. No, the funny thing was when R. Kelly had he was doing his talking during this interview. He said, "I keep girls hostage and tied up in my basement. They say that I'm a cult. I'm a cult." And then he said, "And I don't even know what a cult is." Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He is a cult leader, and we'll talk about some of that tied with narcissism, okay, in a few minutes, okay. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, let me get this camera in. Okay, so the components which is observed by researchers lead to the development of Stockholm Syndrome, or is capture bonding, also called trauma bonding. And they are as follows. The hostage or the victim develops positive feelings towards the captor. The captive and the captor do not have a previous relationship. Refusal of the captives or hostages to cooperate with government authorities like the police, and also the parents. The parents more so than law enforcement. I know they said that they did wellness checks for, twice on the girls. I call them girls because I'm an old woman. Okay, so and he wouldn't let them be thorough with it. But anyway, so they're very hostile towards people who try to help them. Specifically, intense hatred for their parents. And we've seen that it's really bad. And poor Azrael, she really, I'll tell y'all, she needs help real bad. She needs to get out of there bad. Okay, the hostages believe in the humanity of their captor. Do y'all remember when I was telling y'all about, actually, some of the ladies that got out? Well, I told y'all about they all had to wear the same jogging suit. I call it the R. Kelly burqa, remember? But they all have to look down. He tells them when to sleep and when to eat, when to go to bed, what kind of sexual activity, photographs, sexual activities with the girls. Okay, we're going to talk about the causes. Okay, I'm trying to get this. Okay, researchers have defined several factors that cause Stockholm Syndrome. They are as follow. Get it up a little bit longer. When the hostages feel that their kidnapper does them a favor by not killing them, this makes the hostage see the captor positively and may cause Stockholm Syndrome. And those who are kidnapped are treated sympathetically, and if the victims are provided with a good environment by their captors, then the hostages begin to see the captors favorably. Usually, kidnappers are expected to treat their victims harshly, and cruel behavior generates a sense of hatred, while the little kinder makes them. A minute. Okay, I'm sorry. Generates a sense of empathy towards the captors, and they may cause Stockholm Syndrome. Okay, can I stop right there and add something? The girls, as you see, they're impeccable. They're beautiful girls. He takes them shopping. Okay, this is part of Stockholm Syndrome. If they're good and do what he says, he takes them shopping. He has bags of money with Louis Vuitton bags full of $100 bills, and he takes the girls shopping. However, so they feel grateful for that, but they still have to do his routine. So they're very faithful and following whatever he says, dealing with his arrogance, and hard attitude and behavior. He just keeps them isolated from their family and everything. Okay, so let me finish up. Those kidnapped or captured or isolated from the external world, this helps to make the kidnapper's viewpoint. It also may be so that the kidnapped entities begin comprehending circumstances in which the captor was forced to commit such crime. Because of this, the captives often help their kidnapper and become sympathetic to their captors, their causes. There were times when I don't think Oreo had a relationship with. They would let R. Kelly would let Joycelyn speak to her family or do a video saying that she's good or she's fine and everything's fine. So that goes into that. Okay, it says often the kidnapped individuals, in most instances, women start developing a kind of physical, emotional attachment. We know that they were starstruck. Their parents took them to see R. Kelly. They were starstruck, and he promised to help the girls get their singing careers going. He told the parents to do that, but the parents shouldn't have left them with him. But that's beside the point. Okay, when the I'm sorry, y'all. When the captive and the kidnapper live together for many days, the two different persons come close together. And you can see that during that interview, and I analyze it when I get to it. Then they start sharing their interests and this may lead to Stockholm Syndrome. Okay. Y'all know I'm a little, even though I've been on YouTube for 3 years, I'm still not getting subscribers or anything else. And most of the time, I know more than the people who getting 30,000 and monetized. I don't have the personality because I'm a logical, analytical person. But I have the empathy. So, but y'all like sensation, and that's really not who I am. That's why I went into psychology. Okay. Other causes, the abducted people. In this case, okay, they well, we talked about the girls appeasing R. Kelly, and there have been cases. He loves McDonald's. When he takes them to McDonald's or somewhere out, they don't try to flee. Okay? So they're in prison, but they don't flee. So that's what people don't understand about when you're being indoctrinated like this. When it becomes habit, then the behavior stays despite the absence of force. So they just used to just doing whatever he says, going out with him, not running away. If they see a police officer or something like that. Okay, when a woman is abducted, she first wants to escape. Then over a period of time, she develops a kind of bondage and dependency on the abductors. This often happens if the abductors do not have close family members. This is not so with these girls. Their families are actively looking for him. Okay. If the abductor has murdered the victim's relatives, then the victim feels helpless and needs food as well as shelter. So they are dependent on him for food, water. I said that all. Okay. Even though they don't know what's going to happen. And a very wicked thing. This man, I'm torn. Okay, I've dealt with victims. I've never dealt with sexual offenders, so I'm a little bit biased. Okay, because I don't like to treat sexual offenders, especially if they're men, even if they're women. But anyway, let's talk about the symptoms. Okay, let's see. The symptoms of Stockholm Syndrome: showing admiration and love for the kidnappers or abductor. That's one symptom. Resist attempts by the police or law enforcement and family. Defend the kidnappers. Oh yeah. He treats us fine. Yeah. He takes us places. The funniest thing about that, y'all, it's sad when they were having the interview with Gayle King. Azrael, she was taking the lead. Okay, so she was like, "Oh, he take us to amusement parks and to move into the McDonald's." I'm like, okay. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about R. Kelly, and why he behaves like this. Okay. Try to please the abductors, refuse to testify, refuse to run away. Okay. Let me see if I can get. I'm just gonna use this one. This is just a point. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about R. Kelly before we get to the. Wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to get there, y'all. Hold up. I mean, wait, okay. R. Kelly is like a cult. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. He is like a cult member. He is like a cult leader. And there's a such thing. He has a cluster personality disorder that we call in psychology. And they're not really in there with the major ones like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, stuff like it's a ingrained personality disorder. They call them the cluster personality disorders, and there are two different. And R. Kelly is, I think, I would say, there's one called narcissist. Okay, basically everybody in the entertainment industry, politics, sports, and things like that, you have to have, a little ego, a little arrogance, a whole lot of faith in yourself to, to be a narcissist. But you can also lack empathy, lacking empathy, or you're feeling sorry for people, and in various times not wishing to know the what others think or desire, not caring, just self-centered. Okay, so but there's also one that's more harmful than the personality disorder. Narcissism. It's called narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, this goes all the way to your self-esteem issues of entitlement, issues of very low self-esteem, and just trying to make yourself godlike. Okay, like I said, I was going to tell you a little backstory how he may have developed. I can just tell you from narcissistic disorder, personality disorder, superficially charming. Now that's to be narcissism itself. Treat others with contempt and arrogance. Hates to be embarrassed or fail publicly. When he does, he acts out of rage. Y'all saw her video. Y'all saw her doing that silverback video. Okay. But thumping his chest and almost trying to hit poor Gail. I mean, so, and it's very difficult. They're very impulsive, spontaneous, and it's very difficult for them to maintain their composure. It took him a while, but during that interview, he maintained his composure. And they take sexual advantages of the people in the cult. Okay. In my opinion, I think that R. Kelly has, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm just going by what I've experienced in working in the field for almost 20 years, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. It failed. Okay, so I'm thinking that the fact that R. Kelly himself was abused as a child, he and his younger brother Kerry, they were sexually abused by their older sister Teresa, from the ages of, I think it was 6 to 13 or something like that. And his brother hated it, but Kerry hated it. But he said that R. Kelly liked it. He learned to enjoy being sexually abused by their older sister. And he also said, and everybody knows that he's illiterate. He's dyslexic. He's dyslexic. He's dyscalculic. Okay, dyslexia mean you can't read or write. Okay, dyscalculia mean you can't do math. That means he cannot count his money and budget appropriately. So music, he's like those, y'all know those people who just kind of dumb at everything, but they have this one thing that they're gifted at. You know, like the ones who play the pianos, but they seem retarded or something. But I'm sorry, they seem developmentally, on the slow side. He seems to me like a savant. That's the type of person because I was listening to this thing on Doggy Diamond with this elderly lady that lived in the hood with R. Kelly. She was talking about how slow mentally he couldn't catch on anything, but the only thing that the teacher helped him with was his music, and he bloomed and blossomed in his music. So, and even he said he never went to the bank. Well, he's 52. He said he's never went to the bank until a year or so ago, I think he said. And that's when he understood what the bank was, because he always had enablers. The girls couldn't go. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that because they had enablers. Enablers. They enabled him. They read to him. He doesn't even have his catalog of songs. All those songs he wrote for himself and others. Universal Music and Aaliyah's family have the catalog to those music, to all his music. So that's why it was so hard for him to get out of jail when they first got him. Okay, so, but, and he's just childlike. Even his sexuality is just childlike. It said he forced one of the girls to eat his feces. And he likes to urinate on people, girls. And he likes to film. He's sexually retarded. It's not very mature, but I don't know. They put up with it, so I don't. That's what I wanted to tell you about him. Okay, so this is the Pied Piper. See the Pied Piper? That's what he says he is. He had a song in which he said he was a Pied Piper. There he is, gathering the children, playing his music. And that's it. Okay, now we're going to get to the good part. Wait a minute. Oh. Okay. Okay. I didn't get this. Let me see. I got two pictures. I got the wrong one, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the okay. I'm trying to get this. Okay. Okay. Basically, the girls were, when they first sat down with Gayle King, they said the same thing. Ariel took over the situation, and Joycelyn, she just nodded and patted on the back and everything like that. And if you notice, Look how covered up they are covered up. Azrael and her black, and a little more slack, I think, to Joycelyn, because she's been there longer and all that. But notice their body language. Their body language. Look at their legs. Their legs are defensive. They're crossed toward each other. And I wish I had that. This is when she had the meltdown. But before she had the meltdown, they were all both sitting with their arms crossed. Their hands were clenched together, and that's a sign of not wanting to anybody to know your secrets. Clenched hands, and they were facing each other, not Gail. Okay. And but basically the sad part about this is Azrael's story. When she had the meltdown. Okay, when Gail asked her about the suicide attempt. She just let it go. Azrael let it go. She said, my parents, I don't want to sing. I didn't want to sing. My parents caused me to try to commit suicide. And that's why I'm here. I don't want to be forced to sing. And Justin wasn't singing anything, basically, but yep. So anyway, so we find out that Azrael has a history of suicide. She was hospitalized, and they talked to her parents, and they tried to get help for her. And the daddy said he thought if he took her to a R. Kelly concert and let him talk to her and see if he can groom her and everything like that, she won't be suicidal anymore. But they found out she was suicidal because she broke up with her boyfriend, not because of R. Kelly. So this girl, and then the fact that a few days later they had some type of letter saying that they had a suicide pact between the three of them. That's not good. He uses this girl. She could cut her throat, cut her wrist. I'm not going to even go into the ways she could commit suicide. She is very fragile. They need to get her the hell up on out of there. Her lawyer, Avenazzi, whatever. They need to get a psychiatrist and get her the hell up on out of there, because this girl she done tried. Look, I'm a professional and I have a history of suicide. And when you get stressful and you have a history of suicide, one day you hear, you don't say anything, and the next day you're not there. So I'm concerned about Azrael. R. Kelly may do something that set her off. Okay? So I don't know. He looks like the Pied Piper. He picks the most vulnerable. Azrael's the most vulnerable of all. She has a history of suicide. She needs help. They need to go in there. They need to get the FBI up in there. Cause I know that behavioral science unit, they track serial killers. So, and use and say rule out Stockholm Syndrome. I know it's not in DSM-5. Or rule out trauma bonding or something like that. That's in the DSM-5. and use that to get her out of there. I don't understand why the FBI behavioral unit is not doing anything. I mean, I don't know. It's sad. I feel for her because I know it's sad. But I thought Gayle King did an excellent job in handling herself. Probably because she has all them years of experience. She probably got about 40 years of experience. They got a seasoned person, you know. If it had been a younger person, they would have been scared and he would have really acted up. But she maintained her composure. He started acting up like a narcissist would. And okay, and people were asking also, does why to put R. Kelly? Okay, during this meltdown, okay, people have been asking different people who are not in the field, what should they do with him? Should they, since he is intellectually and or have learning disabilities and personality disorders, should he be just put given just treatment in a hospital or just put in jail? Okay, from my experience in dealing with people like this, both. He could either be criminally insane or he could just be in a regular jail. And I used to work with our sheriff when we had a decent sheriff. We had a decent sheriff who had a good psychiatrist with the prisoners. Or he could get his. He has to go to jail one way or another. Criminal hospital or regular maximum jail with intensive therapy for him. But he needs therapy too. He's not just a villain. He needs therapy too. And it took me a while because, like I told y'all, every job that I held when I did mental health, I told them I would not. I saw 3-year-olds with gonorrhea and stuff. I would not work with victims. Sex offenders. But he needs help. You know, I don't know. He needs to be put in jail and get therapy in jail. If you have any questions, well, anyway, please subscribe. Y'all, I've been here I got 13 subscribers. I've been on this channel for 3 years. I don't get Patreon. I don't sell hoodies. I don't sell tea. I don't sell hair products. I'm doing mine free for society, specifically for the black community. They need to understand. They rather give their money to just a bunch of people who are using sensationalizing on this and have no knowledge of psychology or psychiatry or social work. But like I said, I do mine free. I have been doing it free, but I would like some subscribers. I'm not begging for Patreon. So subscribers will do fine. Okay, likes will be fine too. Okay, so like, comment, please send me some subscribers.